Good morning. We have very important issues to discuss with regards to world politics and, of course, the crimes of Israel and other countries. I'll do it later. I'm finishing new construction. These two, one is almost ready, and it will be a little bit different concept because it will be two containers that are almost identical, even though and of the same height. So it will be like a double feature, without like one supporting the other, but two together. I've done it in the past. It's not entirely new, but it's not the regular case, I would say. But there are all sorts of like constructions, as you know. Here, we have the electrolysis. Hopefully, slowly killing life forms. So, as a preliminary, like I would say, preliminary thought, or more accurately, I will say preliminary issues that should be put on the table because they are not on the table, or not enough on the table. I will very shortly just say a couple of things now that I've spoken about like in the past, but it was in very concise manner because it was a lot of speculation, because I didn't like many pieces of the puzzle were missing. But now I have more information, so it's time to actually put like the several like issues on the table. Let's ask a question, very simplistic. So the question is the following, and it's extremely simplistic on purpose. Who is Vladimir Putin? Is he a righteous person and a great leader, or is he Satan, as so many people in the West, but not only in the West, are always portraying him for many years now? Who is he? A benevolent leader or a cruel dictator? So I will give you the answer. He is a benevolent leader. Yes, it's simplistic, but it's on purpose. Because on such times, when the fate of the world is determined, and either way, it will not be what you imagined. You have lost your shot at prosperity and like a place among like sentient species in the interstellar space. But your existence is now greatly in great danger. So in such times, you need simplistic answer, and the answer is that he is a benevolent leader. Of course, everything that I say with regards to international politics currently is somehow related to the foreigners issue, because this is the issue that's most dear to me, because I'm handled like a prey animal all my life until this day, because people view me as a foreigner, even though they didn't understand what kind of foreigner I am. They greatly misunderstood what kind of foreigner I am, even though, either way, they shouldn't like torture like sentient like creatures. As you know, a lot of my journey during last 4 years was actually journey, like walking, hiking Israel, although driving, but also a lot of hiking. It's something that I like to do anyway, and I've done it for many years now, so I'm not new to this hobby. Now I'm under arrest and I can do it, and I suffer immensely because of that, because this is my hobby and my sport, and the way to meditate and to speak with God and like to arrange my thoughts, and many things. But yeah, during those hikes, I reenacted like all sorts of situations that I understood that that happened during the Cold War. And I understood that one of my predecessors, and it doesn't even matter, if it was a Titan or a Cherub or Homo sapiens, it doesn't matter, that, part of what he did in Israel is to try to expose the crimes of Israel, because, Israel committed crime, like, especially with regard to the foreigners, since, before this, the formal establishment of Israel in 1948. And I speak about the men that, acted he was born around 1950, I think, and like grew up as Israeli, but like me. But I mean, most of what I mean, is his ministry was during the 1970s. And a lot of what he has done was to try to expose the things that are happening to both to the United States and to Soviet Empire. And I actually reenacted it myself. Like, I mean, that's the best way to actually study history. I mean, when it's secret history, no one will ever tell you the truth. I mean, and it's just you and God. So you are taking like, the role of someone from the past, and I mean, and it's relatively easy to do it in Israel because I mean, it's such a small country, and I mean, in many places like central places, that I mean, like it's the same like from 1970s to today. I mean, you can actually walk this like. It's really easy reenactment. I mean, you only need imagination and divination and the assistance of God. But I mean, the place is mostly the same, and I mean the critical place. I mean, actually the same critical places. Like I mean, so I understood. I mean, like I had a notion that I need to expose like the things that actually happening to other countries, but I understood that I mean it's already happened. I mean, I understood very quickly that this is a reenactment because it already happened. Now, I also understood that the Soviet Empire had much more information on the matter because they had the gate, like inside their territory. I mean, much more than the United States. United States, there is also a gate in that, like, in the continental United States, but I don't think that they, like, my estimation, like 99%, like, certain that they don't know where it is. Like, it's buried, like, my estimation, I've said it in the past that it's in California, but I am almost certain that they like, maybe they did find it, but I mean, I'm almost certain that it's just buried and no one knows where it is. Like, I mean, it's unknown, like it's completely unknown. So in practice, the Americans don't have gates. You hear the cleaning every day, like it's an hour of cleaning, so I'll not be able to speak. This is the torture of being Israeli. Let's continue. And I want to get back to this construction, and I will elaborate even more later, but I'll try to do it very short now. I understood from all sorts of like indirect reasons that following the solution of the Soviet Empire, the Russians, even before that, but certainly after that, the Russians didn't want to continue to cooperate with the Israelis, like with the slave raids. It's exactly what it is, and I mean they were much more open to it, like during the times, like probably during the 50s and the 60s, but I understood that they changed their I mean, in a religious term, you can say that they made like tshuva, that they repentance. I mean, even though it's probably it's not a single person that, I mean, it's not one person that, I mean, repented. It's like the whole system in a way changed, and I don't know like the exact dynamics. And it's actually, even if it was like just, I mean, you know, published history, even if it was like, I mean, you know, like a non-classified history, still such question of like how systems change, I mean, central to the work of historians, and I mean, people debate such question for like decades and centuries and even millenniums. I mean, people still debate 2,000 years after the fact. They still debate, like, I mean, like what mechanism actually like changed the Roman Republic to a Roman Empire. Because, I mean, yes, you can point like to a certain like the Julius Caesar or Augustus, but this is superficial, and people understood that such, I mean, explanations are superficial than hundreds of years ago, and even during the Roman times themselves. I mean, they understood that, I mean, it's a systematic change that cannot be explained by the deeds of one specific person or the interest of, I mean, one family. So they still debate how actually it happened. Like, I mean, so I mean, there was a systematic change, and I understood it, but I don't have the details, and it's probably very complicated. Like, even if it was like published history, but the fact that they didn't want to continue, I mean, like their sins, and of course it's good. Like, I mean, what could be more like, I mean, obvious than that? That I mean, it's better to stop like your sins and like, and just change course. This was obvious to me for many reasons. That I mean, it's not the time and place to actually discuss it, but some of it was I already discussed. Like, I mean, when I understood it, like, I mean, Twitter and Facebook and my like Evernote account. So not everything that I say now is new. I mean, in the blog, in my blogging. Now, I mean, I had like maybe a thought, like, I mean, a long shot that perhaps the war in Ukraine is also related to the gate, but it's kind of a long shot, and I mean, I still think that it is, but I mean, I have no information, like, no, it's so difficult to actually have, like, no, like, I mean, everything that you are fed is propaganda. I mean, and like, even in Israel, I'm like, I mean, surrounded by walls and like, I mean, cyber walls and like, I mean, you know, network walls, and currently I've been doing the last 7 months, like, actual walls, and so I cannot, like, pretend to, like, have like the ability to solve yet another international puzzle. I mean, it's just too difficult. But I thought maybe it's related to the gate, and I understood that it's in the Ukraine, and I also estimated, and I've spoken about it, but I'm not sure until now, like, how it exactly it works, even like, I mean, from functional perspective. But I estimated that perhaps it's like there is like an enter gate and an exit gate, like, I mean, that they enter in Israel and then they return through the Ukraine. Even though I should say that, I mean, I'm not that interested. Like, I've never seen a gate in my life. I don't even know how it looks like, and I don't have any interest in that, because my like understanding is that humans should not use this gate at all, because they prove that they are not ready for such technology, and I'm certain that, I mean, if I wanted, and like if it was very important, I mean, God would have like shown me how to open new gates and like configure the gates to, I mean, to whatever place that, I mean, at least, I mean, in this solar system, which is quite enough for now. But I mean, it's not, I don't wish it at all. It's not even something that I think about. So the dynamics are not very important, like from like my own curiosity. But yes, the Ukraine, like after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the Ukrainians find themselves like in new kind of friendship with the Israelis, and this is actually known from like other other perspectives. I mean, this kind of like new and flourishing friendship is not a secret in itself. But of course, that they have like their share, like their specialist is the Ukrainians and the Israelis. They have their special institution, which is secret, and put it simply, they share their love of slaves and slavery, and of course that, I mean, from this perspective, the question of good versus bad is getting very simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Yes, I mean, if they are the evil side, as I mean, almost like not automatically, but almost automatically, you can deduce that the Russians are the good side in this, with the relation, I mean, of how they like, I mean, they think that the foreigners should be treated, and with regards to the slave rates that are not new at all by themselves. I also understood that, I mean, quite a while ago, that both during the 70s and even before, and also today, there is like a large presence of humans in the other like place, and that I mean, I'm almost certain, like in 100%, that it's actually Venus. Even though I said many times that it's because it's like teleportation, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it could be another place. Like, I mean, because I mean, they are not like actually. I mean, it's smart. Of course, it has like many implications, and I mean, I saw that about Venus. I mean, since like 3 years ago, and I've written about it, I mean, immensely, and I mean, like the Venera project and the Russian connection and the conspiracy theory that is evident with regard to the Venera project, and I mean like the cooperation of Soviets and Americans to, I mean, to change the initial like statistics that were gathered by the probes, like the Soviet probes. I mean, there is so much like stuff that smells like conspiracy, and so yeah, it's probably Venus. But I mean, and of course, the gravity is almost like identical to Earth, and this is a major key, like in why, I mean, like creatures actually look the same or similar. But it doesn't it matter too greatly because, I mean, it's teleportation. But I understood that, I mean, it's like there is large presence over there, and I also understood that there is kind of like a war over there, but I don't know, I mean, to what extent and what, I mean, I have no idea like what actually happens in this place. Like, I've never been there in my life. But I understood that humans, I mean, took like a foothold in it, not just for the slave raids, but for like bases, and they have military, and they actually wage wars. I don't know if they do it with the Venusians or with, I mean, among themselves, which is even more probable. You know that, I mean, during the last couple of days, I tried to, I mean, raise the level, like the quality and quantity of the neurons that are in the body of the Venusians. This is true both for like Titans here on Earth and for Venusians and Venus. I mean, so I hope that, I mean, it will help them in this war, even though I have nothing to say about it because I have no information. And it's from this, like, this is where, I mean, my knowledge really is, like, I mean, I cannot gather more information, like, on such thing that is so, like, far away and nobody speaks about it. But yes, I mean, when the world is going to be destroyed by powers well beyond your imagination, it should be very clear that there are goods and bads, like baddies and goodies, and I mean, and you need to oversimplify matters if you actually want to survive. So yes, the Ukrainians, the Israelis and the Ukrainians are evil, and the Russians are good because they, I mean, they pose a kind of like, I mean, resistant to the evil that is always flowing through these gates. Of course, they will be closed. I mean, perhaps today, or maybe tomorrow, but soon the gates will be closed. But again, as I said it many times, there are many gates in this world, and most of them you didn't even discover. But it's the important. I mean, dealing too much with like the technical issues of the gates is missing the point. Like, you need, as a species, the Homo sapiens need to know how to handle this technology. And if you prove that you are animal like predatory animals, and you have no morals at all, then, I mean, you possess danger to this universe without relation to the gates at all. I mean, the way that you treat me is like I mean, what more evidence you need in order to say that yes, this is a predatory species, and if they will have like advanced spacefaring technologies, they will, I mean, put like the existence of other sentient races in great danger. This is not related to the gate at all. It's, I mean, it's related to how you treated me, and you still treat me, and I've never passed any gate, and I was born here in Earth, and I've never been in any other planet. So, I mean, no like acute solution will be, no acute solution will be solved by, I mean, destroying a gate or, I mean, changing it from closed to open. What should really be done is, I mean, either, I mean, dramatically change the moral attitudes of the people of the earth, or, I mean, or just, I mean, face the consequences, which are total annihilation. And of course, I mean, morality is not judged by, I mean, what you claim to like your claims. Yes, of course, Americans and Britons, they claim that, I mean, they are, of course, they are so woke and progressive and what's not. But, I mean, now there is a war, and they, of course, they took the side of the Ukraine. So, I mean, what more do you need? I mean, of course, I'm certain there is all sorts of complications behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. Of course, there are. I mean, even if it was like non-secret, like matters, and I mean, everything was like, I mean, on the newspaper, still, I mean, there are many things that you can't understand because it's just too complicated. But it doesn't mean that you cannot like, I mean, accept and like stick to one position. And this is, again, it's incredibly even more true when the fate of the world is at stake. So it's not just a philosophical issue, but it's so critical. So you need to stick to the position that the Americans and the British are, I mean, they are evil because they support the evil side. And of course, it's not, I mean, by now we shouldn't get like, it shouldn't surprise us because we know the other aspects of the issue. I mean, the fact that, I mean, they like to populate their intelligence services with pedophiles and homosexuals, and they need like females for them, and so that's, I mean, they like tea, and they like, I mean, the drug like, and so both like in England and in the United States. So I mean, we've spoken about it a lot, but I mean, so everything is, I mean, it's not, I mean, it's not a surprise that, I mean, the United States and Britain, I mean, are not on the good side here, because we know how they acted, I mean, behind the scenes, and we know that, I mean, there is like a huge gap between how they act and what are like, I mean, their, I mean, like public values, like the values that they put, like, I mean, to everyone to actually see. Okay, so I'll continue the construction and we'll speak about it later, but I mean, both of this construction specifically, and also more on the subject of the crimes of Israel.